So guilty secret, you don't see this, very eclectic style is so forgiving. You know, it just sort of freshened up the whole thing, because that, with that, this here and this here, is not a good look, but that somehow just breaks it up. Something wildly exciting has just happened. Good morning. Welcome to Rare Birds. My name is Angie, for those of you who don't know. I wanted to show you this room in a little more detail. This is my living room, and I don't think that, for those of you who've watched since the beginning, I don't know if you've really seen this angle of the room before. So the fireplace is there, and obviously the back wall is there. Maybe the reason that I haven't shown you this angle is because this isn't a great part of the room, but I just wanted to talk about some of my plans for this room, because it's a very big room. So there's a lot, you know, although a big room is wonderful to have, it's really important to divide up the space. So obviously you have like a focal point of the fireplace here. So very important to have seating around that. So I can seat, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 very comfortably just around that fireplace area. And then I needed to have some sort of dining space that could also be workspace. So a lot of the pieces in this room are actually kind of temporary pieces. This is one of them. Let me just see if you can see it. Yes, you can. So this is just ostensibly one of those little trolley tables, but it's a sort of a decoration over substance piece, because it's actually not very strong. Because do you see how it's wobbling? I would love to have something very sturdy on there, maybe even like the horse's head that I have, but that's just not. It's not a good idea, but I put it here because it then provides a buffer from the back of the sofa, between the back of the sofa and the table. The table, which is just here, I usually have 2 of these, but one of them is being temporarily used upstairs, so that will come down. So then you've got a long table that you can have either, it's just a long kind of refectory style table that can probably seat 12, or you can have it side to side as a square table, and this and the room accommodates that. But in terms of what I need to do in this room, I would like very much, I'll tell you what I'd really like to do. I'd like to finish painting the ceiling. So guilty secret, you don't see this, but I started painting the ceiling. Oh, it's like a farrow and ball, greyish white. It's a lovely colour, but I started painting it, and I just bought it, you know, because other things are priority. But now every time I look at it, it actually really annoys me. Let me see if I can just show you actually, because the ceiling is actually quite nice, because it has, I guess they are rafters, they're kind of cased in, but it does divide the ceiling into 3, which is actually psychologically and physically should make it easier to paint. Let me just show you. Okay, so this is the ceiling. So I am literally standing behind the dining table or tables, and there's the rest of the room. So I don't know if you can see, but so there's a rafter here like that, and then there's another one here. So you've got kind of 3 big sections of ceiling. You see I've got my bunting up still, very cute. I don't have a problem with that. So you can see, look, the shame. You see, I started painting it, and as you can see, this colour is just much better. But it looks more grayer than it is actually. It's actually not as, but it just works quite nicely with the sulking room pink, whereas for me that's a little too much of a contrast. So maybe what I'm going to try and do over the next few weeks is just try and do that, try and finish it. It's just, I hate painting ceilings, you know, the neck and the shoulders, because hang on, let me just show you. Yes, I was just saying the neck and the shoulders take great offence. And this is the light that I have here, which I do not like at all. And this is where I want, for those of you who watched the first bath video, hang on, I'll continue this talking to camera, hold on. So this is where I would like to have the big orb light, if it's at all possible. I think it would just be sensational, because I would actually I'd go quite big. Hang on, because the ceilings are a good height. So I think it would be great. I think it would be great if it was literally about that big. So what is that? I guess that's 1.5 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, 60 centimetres. An orb like that, wouldn't that be spectacular? And then to be able to adjust the colour, you know, to even so that you can create even like that warm, you know, golden light or pink, gentle pink lighting would just be dreamy, really, particularly over, dare I say, at Christmas. I'm going to say the word, I'm excited already. But yeah, and then and I think it would be really beautiful. Of course, then I will miss out on, because what I do in the winter here is I put evergreens on here and I drape them all down, and that is really quite lovely. But anyway, I would like to get rid of this, because I've just never, it doesn't really do anything for me. I've never really liked it. So there's that. So there's the ceiling. Maybe I should think of it in different stages, like there's the ceiling, so that needs to be done. And then you can see over here, there's my bookcase. This is again very rough and ready. So this bookcase, actually I sit down? Yeah, the bookcase here is great, but it was never meant to be anything other than temporary. And actually I would like to completely get rid of it. I'd like to have all my books, basically for the upstairs hall to be the library, because the hall is wide enough to take a bookcase all along one side. I would just love to have one built in, you know, just sort of up to this high, but running it would be sort of 20 feet long or something, it would be fine. And then here I would love to have just some sort of a marble topped table with probably an enormous mirror over it. I think it would be really nice. But yeah, so that's all just, you know, a project that's ongoing really in here. The curtains, well, I'll tell you the story of the curtains the other day, but again, the curtains weren't chosen specifically. They were found in a flea market, and they were just such a find because they're really thick, kind of like castle curtains almost. They're lined and, you know, very, very heavy, and they just there were 4 of them and they roughly fitted. So I got those as well. And this is actually the curtain fabric, so it's that sort of thick chenille stuff. But again, look at the colour. You see, you would think, oh, catastrophe with the sulking room pink walls, and in many ways it is. In fact, look, you can see there, that's the pink wall. Doesn't look pink there, I know, but that's why I created these tie backs. So they have the colours that you've got sort of in the rugs and in the art and everything. And then I did this band. So that was a stripe, actually. That was the fabric from the curtain that's in the bathroom. And then this, I actually bought this fabric. You know, it just sort of freshened up the whole thing, because that, with that, this here and this here is not a good look, but that somehow just breaks it up a bit. And then I've got the crazy bunting up there. Anyway, I'm going to get on and I'm going to try and do that. Do one section of the hall. Yeah. So there is a lot to do. there is a lot to do. I also have, there's another piece of furniture that I want to show you. Hang on, I will move you. Okay, so this piece of furniture here, I actually congratulate myself, probably on a monthly basis, for not throwing away. So when I moved into this house, they left this piece of furniture here, and it had tops, so there are actually two pieces side by side here, so it goes sort of like this, and then it had a top piece, which was your classic kind of fitted cupboard G-plan with, it had like a little pull down bit for drinks and little slidey bits with glass, and it just wasn't for me. But the top was detachable from the bottom, so when I was getting rid of it, I took the top bit off, and then I saw that this was basically left. I'm so grateful that I was smart, and I thought, no, don't throw that away, because actually, what else would you put there? And it's the most amazing storage space. So in this one I have drinks and things like that. This is just basically sort of just officey stuff. And then there's board games in the other cupboard. And it's just very, very useful. And then I thought, well, I don't love this item of this piece of furniture. I really don't love it. It's sort of almost like neutral, and I wanted it to disappear into the wall. So the way that I did that was just literally to paint it the same colour as the wall. So this is just sulking in pink again. And then I wanted this to be more of a kind of a gallery wall, really. But it's not, it's not a mind-blowing piece of furniture, but God, it's just so useful. And it's, it just fits the space really well. So yes, so that is a little update on the living room, really. Yeah. It just needs, these houses, any house really, there's always something to do, isn't there? Let me move you. I was just saying with these houses, there's always something to do with any house. It's a slow process, isn't it? It's a slow process, and it just requires a kind of, a dogged approach, really, a dogged determination, because the danger is if you don't keep momentum, then you just lose momentum, which I guess I've done to a certain extent. I don't know, it's just not always easy, particularly if you are basically doing everything yourself. This is why I get so much pleasure when I do get someone in to do something, like when Jordan comes to put that kitchen cupboard that I got on Facebook Marketplace. When he puts that up, it will just be great, because it will be a big deal, and it's not something that I physically have to do myself. So that's just a little update on the living room. Again, the rugs that I have here are literally ancient. They're so ancient, it's just embarrassing. But they're Persian rugs, so it literally doesn't matter. It's almost like the older and the more threadbare. That style of interior, the slightly worn, very imperfect, very eclectic style is so forgiving. Yeah, maybe that's how I should theme this. It's a very, very forgiving interior style, because, nothing is perfect. And almost if it was there are different levels of perfection, aren't there? So you can look at a painting and think that's absolutely perfect, or a flower in a vase and think that's absolutely perfect. But not everything has to be. And, sometimes perfection can feel a little sanitized. And of course, what is perfection to one person would be a horror to another. So it varies, doesn't it? We're all different. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. And I'm gonna do some painting of the ceiling. That's what I'm going to do, because that would be a really nice thing actually to have done by Christmas, because I think it would actually make quite a big difference to the room. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. I thought that I would show you the rugs. Now prepare for quite extreme underwhelm. But so this is the rug that's the main part of the living room. So basically runs underneath the sofa. It's quite big. It has been attacked by moths at various times in its life, but I think, you know, it's just nice because it has lots of colours in it. There you go. Got blues and reds and sort of caramel colour like that. And it just has a gentle amount of pattern, which I like. You see, and it works, you know, just with anything. See how well it works with that sofa? Freaky. This was not planned. Well, not in any extreme way anyway. You will see that the coffee table, which is a bit of a mess in a moment, but I can show you, has been pulled right back. And this is because, even though it doesn't look right, it doesn't look great, I keep it pulled back because that's where I do my yoga in the morning. And I feel like the yoga is a priority over aesthetics. And yeah, look, see? So it's just pulled right back like that. So this is a very old faithful. I mean, yeah, this has got to be, how old is this? Probably 35 years old. This has had such a beating. This has been in the front hallway of the house that had 6 children in it, and dog, and all sorts of madness, back and forth, and now it's here. So not in my hallway, because I only have a little hallway, as you know, but it's here and it's nice. And again, this just has, you know, quite a nice selection of colours in it that just go work with everything, really. And then moving forward here, we have a random selection of rugs. But again, it just doesn't matter. They all just work. Something wildly exciting has just happened. So this is a break in transmission of the thrilling painting pale grey paint over white paint of the ceiling, which I'm sure you will be also gutted to miss. But I found this most amazing painting in a charity shop, and I'm going to give it to, I'm already thinking about Christmas presents. Oh, sorry, I think I've mentioned Christmas twice now. It's because I feel like once we're sort of approaching August, we may as well be in September. And then once we're in the months, Christmas is here. In fact, let's start planning for New Year's Eve because there's no time. Anyway, look, the painting, I'm going to give it to Alice for a Christmas present because it's a painting of Stockholm at night time. And Alice is she quite likes the idea of having a painting that's kind of very seasonal. So this is very wintry, there's snow, and then, you know, it's something that you enjoy particularly in the winter. She's very into this kind of hygge. This is hygge in a really big, I'm so excited. I've got to repaint the frame because I know she won't like the frame. It's kind of it's like a silver. Anyway, it's behind me. I'm going to show you. I think it's really beautiful. Can you see? Hang on, I'm going to try it. So it's called Stockholm. It's called Night View. Just says Night View Stockholm. Look, can you see the little teeny twinkly lights? I hope you can see. Yeah, so look, I did actually have my apron on, see, to do the painting and older clothes. So yeah, so it's got this kind of silver frame, which I know that Alice won't like. So I'm going to find a beautiful tonal paint that works with one of these colours in here. And it says Night View Stockholm, JF, looks like JOEPER, and then it says RA, 1970 to 1977. Do you think that means that he's a Royal Academician? Or that he studied there, he was there, he was doing something there for 7 years? I think it means that. I choose to believe it means that. I think it's a really, really gorgeous painting. And I like, can you see the little trees? But look at it. Look at the little houses. It's very dear. See the light? And there's, snow here. Isn't that exciting? Also, £10. £10. And although I don't love the frame, I like the shape of the frame. Do you see this sort of side profile? So it has these, I don't know what they're called, but that will that will be really lovely. It's a really nice size as well, you know, to go, like if you were going to put this on, if you were even going to balance it on top of a chest of drawers in a bedroom or something like that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Also, that makes a very nice shaped present, because I will pad that out. I'm going to do a whole thing on Christmas wrapping as well. I'm quite the ninja with Christmas wrapping. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just stop going on about it. But listen, be grateful, because I was going to literally bore you to death. See how many subscribers I could lose in showing you me painting the ceiling, but I'm not going to do that now. So isn't that great? But I will show you it when it's done. I'll try and show you. Oh, anyway, I've got to be accountable, because it is a hard thing to do. I had 2 frozen shoulders. Did you know that about me? So I have little teeny tiny scars here where I had keyhole surgery. I had one of them was during COVID. And I just was so lucky. I remember speaking to this consultant, and I think that he just took pity on me, because I think I was so pitiful and pathetic that he got me, you know, the surgery, and it was really lovely. It was in a private hospital, so I was really, really lucky. And then the second one was, I was actually living here, but I had it done in London, and it was great. Anyway, it's a boring story, isn't it? But frozen shoulders are horrible. But the reason I'm going back to frozen shoulders is because I'm pretty sure that, I just carry all my stress in my shoulders, which I think Chinese medicine says that that's because you have a lot on your shoulders. And maybe, when you have lots of babies, it's a lot. Anyway, I feel like I haven't shown you. I'm really obsessed with that picture, and I'm just looking at it down there, and I think you can see it better. You're saying, oh God, please, I beg you, don't show me the picture again. But I'm going to. Yeah, okay, hold on. No, actually, before I do that, I also found something else. It's bringing me a lot of joy. This is not new at all, but this is the Feast book. And I don't know why I'd never made the connection between the word feast and cooking for larger quantities of people. So, for example, she will do in here like, it's sort of almost like dinner menus. So if you're having a New Year's celebration and 10 people are coming for dinner, there's a fantastic whole menu in here. And it has a Christmas section, Easter section, kitchen feasts. It's one of the most delightful books, and I can't believe that I've never had this book. Anyway, I found this in the charity shop at the same time, and I have this, but I'll bore you with that another time, because that was a massive obsession getting hold of that. Right, I'm going to show you the painting. In fact, I'll leave you looking at the painting, and I hope that this video has been okay, and thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to subscribe, please do. That would be lovely. And I'm also on Instagram now, and I'm really trying to get my Instagram moving, because I know it's really important. I just got to get through. I have a bit of a block with it, and I don't really know why. It's very strange, because I actually love taking photos, and but I think that's all I have to talk about. So I will leave you. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching, as always.